keep on blessing me. Say that's the only job, boy, steady testing me. And that furnace of affliction, baking me like bread top of me. I come through like the fine gold, you know, a righteous recipe. I grew past the thorns and this shit is that's on my surface, they're spinning as if you ain't black, Hispanic, or Native American, you ain't no kin to me. I turn from the broad path that made you public to me. I outcast the children when you got me born energy and you roll with a goodie about the bottom dungeon feeling this. No growth without pain, so calamity breeds clarity. Karma is a bitch, if you rich, don't forget the charity. The kingdom of heaven within, so a life is prosperity. But life without services, helpless immorality. Tragically, most live in disparity. Missing the meaning of life even, though they search desperately. All these intimate schisms plaguing their anatomy. Ironically, they self-destructing ass. What happened to me? It's sad to see. The hubris of the ignorance is likened to a Pharisee. A hard pill, pedophilia breeds homosexuality. Statistically, most predators exist in your family. Sadly, grandma silences, curses generationally, passed down, class condition, ever since slavery. Best believe you come for mine, I'm down for them felonies. Got the balls, contest, you gon' catch this vasectomy. All these J. Reeds playing God is just blasphemy. That was in too deep when they see on the surface geology. A lot of niggas and haters running after these Persephones. I'll take a trip to Tanisha over any of these Bethanies. My mama is a gym with a skin of milk. Her name is Ruby. I stumbled along the narrow path, but gotta never lose me. When you realize you're chosen, that first step is a doozy. Sidestep and distraction and pitfalls with these remember when you real, it takes acts to make a movie. You reap what you sow, so enjoy that fruit in that smoothie. My ceilings are righteous fit like a beer in the koozie. I sit calm, watching all these I love Lucy's and these all out. Looking goofy, I wrote this with no hook, so every point is a fat joke fit. And last one was a J. Julius Urban on my big hit. For the cash money, mostly way. Like the currency to Big King Von, they'll make a Magnolia short. The truth hurts in this coming very shortly. The head of the Lord is more darkly in that rapture story. Most outwardly show bravery, but inwardly or cowardly. Because to be righteous makes you stand out awkwardly. World tide ends in waterfalls and rocks sharply. And your vessel watch the shore because Babylon is falling. And that hand out to God got you complacent on dependency. It never rise above the status quo. Your people feel me, we in the valley of dry bones. That's a risk, come forth, you quicken it. Or you'll tell you're weak because arms is coming swiftly. There are very few ants, most have a slugger tendency. You bang on your brother, but dance for the enemy. They conquer in division, we multiply in solidarity. To build, you must destroy the vicious cycle of redundancy and walk a narrow path against normality for clemency. Most despise wisdom and rather live in their infancy. A man puts away childish things and show consistency. The kingdom is at hand. Red and blue pill, choose wisely. All right. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under commanding Jerry YAHANNA, it is Friday, the Lashawan Qadash class, where we get into the mysteries of our language. Lashawan being tongue, in Hebrew, Qadash being holy. This is the dialect and the vernacular as we speak, as if you will. All right. So, we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, breaking down the nuances that are only revealed through the linguistics in the Bible. All right. So we're going to start off every class like we do. So if you would, repeat after me. Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, to Z, wa, ra, sha, and the. All right. Okay. Let me switch it over to the board. All right. So today, we're going to begin going over past, present, and future tenses. But beforehand, we're going to go over a couple of basic rules in Hebrew. Right? Okay. First rule. All right. All right. These are called connectors. All right. So what is the purpose of a connector? Right? So you have open parentheses, close parentheses. That's what I call it. Right? So an open parentheses connects two Hebrew alphabets together. Right? A closed parentheses lets you know that you're going to you're going to pronounce exactly how the alphabet sounds, right? Now, when you read Hebrew, these are not here, right? These are for teaching purposes to teach you how to phonetically pronounce Hebrew words, okay? All right. Number 2. All right. All right. The second rule is yum. And as you can see right here, for the paleo, which is where we only use connectors, you see I use the open parentheses, right? Because it's connecting the ya and the ma, right? So whenever you see yum at the end of a word, it's making the word plural, right? Ak is brother, akyum is brothers, okay? All right. So when you see yum, write this down, which you have a tablet for. All right. Pen. All right. So yum is for pluralization. All right. All right. Third rule. All right. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Third rule. All right. When ha, oh, all right. When you see ha, right? All right. When you see ha at the end of the word, this is one way to dictate feminization of a word, right? This is one way. It's not the only way. All right. The other way, I'm about to show you now. All right. So next you have wath, right? So when wath is at the end of a word, it also dictates feminine. For example, ak is brother, akwath is sister, right? Malak is king, Malak wath is kingdom. But you would ask yourself, but why is kingdom feminine, right? Because when you are subject to someone, you are in the inferior role. So it is feminized, right? So Malak, the king, is the masculine. His subjects are the feminine. All right. So I'll give you an opportunity to copy these down, and then we'll move on. All right. So understand that these are dealing majority with adjectives and nouns, and they must agree with their gender. All right. So, like prime example, you can't put wath or ha on a word that's dealing with a gender dealing with masculine words, right? You can't say akwath and be like brother. That's not what that means. You calling a brother a sister. You understand what I'm saying? All right, y'all got it? All right, right on. All right, so I'm gonna move on. All right. So, since we were talking about gender, so we're gonna go into next. Gender and person. All right. All right. So the first one that we're going to deal with is Anya. All right. And if anybody has any questions online, please type them in and we'll get to them amicably. All right. So the first one that we're going to deal with is Anya. All right. So what does Anya deal with? All right. So Anya is I. All right. So who is I? I is me, myself, and I. Right. And what person does this deal with? This deals with first person. All right. So whenever you see Anya, right, as the subject of the sentence, all right, it's dealing with I. Okay. All right. Next, we have a tha. All right. So what does a tha mean? A tha means you. All right. Okay. And what is you? You is second person, right? Okay. They be like, who? Like you be like, bro, who you talking to? I'm talking to you, right? I ain't talking to myself. I'm talking to you, right? It's two people in this conversation, all right? So this is second person. All right. And also, remember connectors, right? Our basic rules, all right? So when you see a closed parentheses, that means you pronounce the letter exactly how it sounds. Ah, right? And you have a th and a huh with a open parentheses. That means these two are joined, right? So it's not going to be ah, the huh. It's going to be the. They're connected together. Okay? All right.
I got a question.
What is your question?
With the Hebrew alphabet, like the wash Hebrew, the modern Hebrew.
No, this has nothing to do with this has nothing to do with Yiddish, right? These are here basically. These are training wheels for you, right? If you were to get an ancient text that's in Paleo Hebrew, these connectors won't be here, right? These are strictly here as a study guide or training wheels for you to learn Hebrew, right? Because otherwise you won't know how to we won't know how to extrapolate or combine letters. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at it from an English standpoint of vowels and consonants, right? This is like Hebrew is, as far as like spoken languages, is the oldest language living. Now there are older languages that are dead, but this is the oldest language living. You can't look at it from English lenses backwards, right? So these are strictly training wheels to teach you how to read Hebrew, right? Stereotypically, when we're teaching Hebrew, most people learn because we have the connectors there to help you sound them out, right? But we also put the Assyrian above it so you can get used to seeing it, right? Because in Assyrian, there is no connectors. And in Paleo, when you get a Paleo transcript, right, of an ancient manuscript, there will be no connectors, right? These are simply training wheels to help you adapt to learn Hebrew, right, that we've come up with.
So how do you understand where to add a connectors?
So the best way that I can explain it to you, right, from a standpoint of teaching, right? So in Yiddish, they're called nodes, right? So Yiddish is a Germanic language, right? It's Hebrew mixed with a Germanic Slavic tongue to help adapt to people that are the Slavic people, right? For their vowels and consonants, right? This is placed here so that you, with your English background, can denote consonants or vowels. Really, majority, all of the Hebrew language has a vowel background. It's really how we talk, right? So the way that we know where they go is based off of diction and conjugation over antiquity, right? So I'm not the first person to deliberate this. I'm not the first person to transliterate this. This is just how things are taught since antiquity, right? So it's just like, take off the lens of being an adult. You're a child right now. So I'm teaching you your ABCs, right? You don't know how to talk. You just know goo goo gaga, right? So I'm gonna teach you Baba is bottle, right? And as you're able to say Baba, we go from Baba to Batu, right? So that's what these connectors are for. Okay? All right, no sweat. All right, so we're going to move forward.
So what other connectors? It'll still be the same word.
Yes. Your grown door. No, it. All right. Next, we have Ha-wa-ah. All right. What does Ha-wa-ah mean? Ha-wa-ah means he. And what is he? He is third person. All right. Ha-wa-ah is he, third person. Right. So as you can see, we're growing. Right. So we have Anya, which is I, like I will, I am. You know what I'm saying? I have. You have Atha, you will. You are, you have. Hawa'a, he is, he will, he has. Right? So these are all things dealing with past, present, and future tense. When you're dealing with past, present, and future tense, every sentence is going to have a subject. It's going to be either first, second, or third person. All right? All right. All right. Next we have Haya'a, right? So if Hawa'a is he, Haya'a has to be what? If she. There you go, brother. She.
You said Hayah.
Yes. Might be able to fit one more up under there. All right. So we got all right. So we got Anya, which is first person, which is I, Atha, which is you, which is second person. We have Hawa'a, which is he, which is third person. And then we have Haya'a, which is she, which is third person. All right. All right. Okay. So, and I'm going to add something else onto this. So you can add this to your notes. All right. So is Anya, is Anya, is that singular or plural?
Singular.
Correct. Give that brother a hand. Somebody swapped out my markers. All right. Is a thigh singular or plural?
Singular.
It is? No, he's right. It's singular. I'm dealing with one person. I'm talking about you. Give that brother a hand.
Yeah.
All right. Is Hawa singular or plural?
Singular.
That is correct. All right. Is Haya singular or plural?
Singular.
That is correct. All right. So what we just went through first, second, and third person singular, right? It's important for you to remember because the next thing we're going to go through is first, second, and third person plural. All right. So make sure you have this down. All right. In your notes. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? Be kind and rewind. All right. And again, if you have any questions, you can type them in on the line. All right. All right. So we're going to move right on along. All right. Now we're going to move into the first, second, and third person plural. All right. All right. So next we have a knock Noah, right? So notice the different usage of the connectors. So we have the open connector, which is I, and then we have the closed connector, which is I. Then we have open connector between the na and the ha, right? Which makes it sound knock, right? All right, and then we have two closed connectors. So you have knock na wa.
He said,
knock, not knock, knock, like you hocking up a loogie. All right, knock na wa. All right, and what does this mean? This means we.
How you said it again?
A knock na wa. All right. A knock na wa. All right. So we is second person, and of course it is what? Singular or plural? Is we singular or plural? Is we singular or plural? That is correct. Get that brother a hand. Man, don't be sending you with a hand class, man. Get that brother a hand. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right, so next we have
Nach.
That is correct, brother.
Noah.
Nach Noah.
Noah.
Yes. All right. So next we have a thumb. All right. So if a thigh means you, what does a thumb mean? So if a thigh means you, what does a thumb mean? Nope. If a thigh means you, what does a thumb mean? Not that hard. You. Right? What is we're dealing with the pluralization of first, second, and third person, right? So if you, right, is singular, right? What is the pluralization of you? Yours? No, that is possessive. How do you say you plural?
You are.
Exactly. Exactly. Get that brother hand.
So it's a thumb.
Right? So, but in Texas, we say y'all. All right. This is second person plural. All right. It ain't rocket science, man. All right. Okay. All right. So a thumb is you all or y'all. You you are correct, Mariah. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. We out here in Texas. Right. You know what I'm saying? You too, Keisha. You know what I'm saying? You are correct. You know what I'm saying? You was close. You know what I'm saying? Close but no cigar making. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So in Texas, you know what I'm saying? We don't like all them words. You know what I'm saying? We put it all together. Instead of saying know what I am talking about, we say know what I'm talking about. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying you feel me, we say you feel me. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us saying you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Already. All right. So a thumb. All right. Now I'm going to take this a step further. All right. So this is masculine second person plural. Right. So now a thigh could be used for masculine or feminine. It doesn't matter. Right. But when you get to second person plural, it matters with who you're talking to. So a thumb is when you're addressing a group of men. I'll give you an example, right? When I say shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Baraka thumb, right? I'm talking to a group of brothers, right? If I'm talking to a brother, it's shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Baraka thah, right? But this is a masculine salute. This is a salute that we do towards men, right? Well, okay. Well, if that's the masculine, what's the feminine, Officer Tyson? I got you. right? So how you say you all or y'all in the feminine sense is a thon, right? So when I'm talking to a sister, singular, Shalom Yahweh Shema Ilathaba Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? That's to a sister, one sister, right? But if I'm doing the salute to a group of sisters, it's Shalom Yahweh Shema Ilathan by Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? Okay? Because this is plural. This is you all or y'all. A thon. That is correct. I see you, Miriam. Miriam on it. Miriam say a thon, sir. That's what I'm talking about. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Sis on it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So with masculine and feminine, all right, this is how you say it. Dealing with a group of people. This is going to be very important when we get into past, present, and future tense, because you need to know the gender in which you're talking to, which is nine times out of 10 the subject of the sentence structure. Okay. All right. Okay. We got two more. A thon is for sisters. A thumb is for brothers. That's why you have a masculine and a feminine right here. Then also notice the difference in ending the words, right? So the ma as a ending cap letter is different if it were in the middle of a sentence. Same thing with the nuh, right? If you look here on the board, right? So this is what ma looks like, Nike. This is what ma looks like if it's just in the middle of the word. That's what it looks like when it's at the end of the word. This is what nuh looks like when it's in the center of a word or within the word. That's what it looks like when it encapsulates a word. All right. Okay. All right. So next we have hum. Right? Hum is they.
Is it masculine or feminine?
We getting there, brother. 1 second. Don't put the cart before the horse. Don't crawl before you can walk. All right. So we have they. This is third person plural. All right. This is dealing with the masculine sense. All right. Okay. Okay. So if you're asking, all right, so when you're addressing or specifying a specific group, right? It's a group of men, you would say hum, they over there. You understand? All right. All right. So quite naturally, if we have a masculine sense, we have to have a feminine sense. All right. All right. So for the feminine sense, it's going to be han. All right. Or they. All right. So going over the second, third person plural, masculine, feminine, we have anak nawa, right? Which is we. Second person plural is gender neutral. All right. You have a thumb, which is you all, or as we say down here in the South, y'all, right? Which is second person plural, masculine. All right. We have a thun, which is you all or y'all, which is second person plural or feminine. We have hum, which is they, which is third person plural, masculine. And then we have han, which is they, which is third person plural, feminine, right? These are the things anya, atha, hawa'a, haya'a, anaknawa, atham, athan, hum, and han. These are the basic things that you need to know to identify in conversation what you're talking about. Me, myself, and I, you, him, her, we, y'all, masculine, y'all, feminine, they or them, masculine, or they or them, feminine. All right? These are the basic building blocks that you need to know in reading Hebrew to identify. Because what's going to happen is, all right, so let's just say, for instance, uh, Moshe, Moshe, Amar, right? Okay, no, one Moshe Amar, and Moses said, right? So that'll be the beginning of the opening statement of that chapter, right? Okay, and then from then on, you'll see Hawa'ah, right? So when you see Hawa'ah, he is referencing who? Moses, right? See how that works, right? So that's normally how it would work, all right? So in the opening sentence, it would be what Yahweh Amar, and the Lord said. All right. Okay. From then on, in that context of that chapter, it will be Hawa'ah, right? That Hawa'ah would be in reference to the Most High, right? So this is going to help you break down context, right? Okay. All right. Or like prime example, if it said Wahayahawa Amar, and the Lord said, and then he said Anya, right? He said he's making a decree. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Okay. So this is going to help you understand when you're reading and dealing with context. All right. So make sure you have this written down. We're going to move into the first part. Let's see which tense I want to go over first. We'll go over the first part of present tense. See what time it is. Yeah, I'll go through present tense, and then we'll do the next one next week. All right. Okay. All right. So we right here, present tense. Okay. All right. Let's see. So what word we're going to use? All right. So we're going to learn a new adjective. All right. Okay. So, all right. So the new word that we are learning today is shamar, which is what your grum is on right now. All right. Shamar means to watch, right? Shamar is security, right? All right. All right. So the word that we're going to be conjugating today in present tense is shamar, which means to watch. All right. So rule in present tense. All right. We add a wa. All right. Between the first and second alphabets. All right. In the word. All right. This is how you know that it's going to help you further understand conjugation of something that is present tense. All right.
I
So,
got a question.
what's your question?
So when we put the words together, do we put them together like in English?
There's no we're not. This is Hebrew class, not English class.
I know. I'm just saying for like reference.
There is no reference. This is Hebrew class, not English class. So I don't even understand your question. We're not putting things together in English. We're putting things together in Hebrew to help you understand transliteration.
This roll backwards.
All languages in antiquity English is wrote in backwards.
Yeah.
This is we speak a backwards language. All languages in antiquity are from right to left. Right? Aramaic is from right to left. Right? Greek is from right to left. Latin is from right to left. Hebrew is from right to left. Sanskrit is from right to left. Right? Hieroglyphics in Egypt are from right to left. English is a bastardized tongue, right? We want to do everything different here. Well, the white man does confuse the world because in over there in Europe, they have the metric system, right? We don't follow the metric system here. We have our own unit of measure here, right? Like we use pounds, they use kilograms, right? So everything in America is backwards. This is the youngest and dumbest language on the face of the earth.
Right.
Right? This is an effeminate language, right? We don't say, could you please do me the honor of sitting next to me, right? What it sounds like in Hebrew and English, woman, come now, sit here. It's very direct. It's brutish. It's a savage tongue. It's masculine, right? Okay? All right. So the word that we're going to be conjugating, right, is shamar, right? Now, the first rule in dealing with present tense, you add a wa between the first and second letter to let you know that it is present tense. All right? Okay. So let's get into our first example. And for time purposes, I'm just going to write in paleo. So we have Anya Shawamar. What does this mean? What is, according to your notes, what does the word Anya mean? I. All right. So what is Anya Shawamar? I watch. That is correct. Give that brother a hand.
Why you added the why?
I'm sorry?
Oh.
Are you not paying attention?
I am.
You asked me, why did I add why? I'm going to ask you a question by looking at the board. Why did I add what?
I didn't know it was going to be within.
It says the first rule to establish that something is present tense to add a wa between the first and second letter. The word is shamar, the root word. Okay? The first letter is sha. The second letter is ma. Shawamar. We're following the first rule to establish that something is present tense. Okay? So if you were, so like prime example, this is something that would be in Hebrew, right? When you're reading the Bible, right? All right? It would be Waha Yahweh Shawamar. And the Lord watched. Matter of fact, it would be Waha Shawamar. I'm sorry, Waha Yahweh Shawamar al Yasha'Allah, right? And the Lord watched over Israel, right? Now, if you looked up Shawamar, this word isn't going to come up, right? But you have to be able to establish the root word. The only way you be able to know that is by knowing the rules of past, present, and future, right? Also by knowing your prefix, because I said Waha Yahweh, right? If you looked up Waha Yahweh, it's not going to come up, right? But we know Wa as a prefix is and, Ha is the. And we know Yahweh is the Lord, and the. Right? Okay? All right? All right, so let's move on. All right, let's go to the next one.
So it's Lamar.
You said what?
I was just trying to make sure to say it correctly.
Shawamar.
So Lamar.
Yes, that is correct. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so next we have a Shawamar. Based off of our notes, what does this say?
She watched.
That is incorrect. What does a mean?
Oh, you watched.
That is correct. Give that brother a hand. All right. So a Shawamar is you watch. All right. All right. So now remember what is one of the basic rules for establishing something to be feminine? Well, let me first ask this question, right? So when I say a the shawamar, Salakia, supposed to be right. When I say a the shawamar, is this sentence masculine or feminine? Now remember, a the is gender neutral, right? Okay. So you said it's masculine. Why is it masculine?
Because they don't have the high ending.
What doesn't have the high ending?
Shawamar.
That is correct. Give him a hand. All right. So a the shawamar is when you're talking to a group of men. All right. I'm just going to write the conjugation of the feminine sense, so I have to rewrite this whole doggone thing. All right. So a tha, put this right here so you know it's the same thing. A tha shawamara, right, is you watch, right? But it's dealing with the feminine, right? Because a tha is a gender neutral word, right? But the way we know whether it's masculine or feminine, right, is by the conjugation of the adjective, right? What is an adjective? Something that denotes movement or action. Okay? The movement that we're doing right now is watching. Okay?
So Shawamar.
Yes, Atha Shawamara. That is correct. Atha Shawamara is the feminine version of you watch. All right?
How come it's Mara at the end?
What is the basic rules of Hebrew? You have them written down. It's part of this class. What is the basic rule of Hebrew?
The reason I asked because when you say Mara, it's like adding an R to it.
What is the basic rule of Hebrew? So, what are in the basic rules of Hebrew? What are the two rules that denote feminization of a conjugation of a word? Young man Ryan.
Yam or ha? Wa.
No, not yum. We're talking about the feminization.
Feminization of ha and wa.
Ha or wa, right? At the end of Shamara, what is at the end of Shamara? What Hebrew letter?
Ha.
That is correct, right? It is joined by a connector. That is how we know that the conjugation of Shamara is feminine, right? All right, so we have Shawamar, right, which is masculine, and we have Shawamara, which is feminine.
The reason I asked because you say the R twice at the end.
No, I didn't say a R twice. Shawamara, Where is there a ra twice at the end? Sha, wa, ma, ra. Where do you hear a ra twice at the end?
I'm saying like two R's, one on Mark and one on Ruff.
Sha, wa, ma, ra.
Mara.
Sha, wa, ma, ra. Where do you see two R's at the end?
No, man.
Oh, okay. All right, no sweat. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. All right, next we have Hawa Shawamar. What does this mean? Based off of your notes. This is why it's so important to take notes in class so you can participate.
You watch.
It's what?
You watch.
Next time, raise your hand. All right, that is correct. Give him a hand. All right. All right. Next we have Hayya Shawamara. What does that mean? Hayya Shawamara. What does that mean?
She's on watch.
What?
She's on watch.
She
watch.
what?
She watch.
That is correct. She watch. Give him a hand. Now, young man Ryan, I'm going to ask you, why is it she watch?
Pluralization at the end.
Because of the what?
Pluralization at the end.
There is no pluralization at the end. For something to be plural at the end, it would have to be yum.
Oh, right.
So how is it she watches or she watch?
Ra. Shawamara. The Ra then.
Let's start at the beginning of the sentence. Hayya is what?
She.
Okay. All right. So we know the gender based off of the first word, right? Okay. So now with the second word, Shawamara, right? Why is that different from Shawamar? It has the what? The ha. Ha at the end, right? To denote feminization. All right?
So how would you say this? Shalamar?
You just said it.